afternoon everyone, we're here in Richmond about to start a crazy ultramarathon, a race of 100 miles, the Thames Path 100, which is part of the Centurion Ultramarathon series. It starts here in Richmond along this beautiful riverside. It goes all the way along the river Thames to Oxford where it finishes, and we're going to clock up 100 miles on the way. I've got no idea what's going to happen. Never attempted anything further than 65 miles before, which I did last year when I did London to Brighton. So let's find out what happens. Okay, we've just set off. It's 9:30 in the morning. We are going to do the Thames Path 100. Let's do this, guys. Right, we're about 5 miles in now and I'm feeling pretty good so far. However, 5 miles in the grand scheme of things is really peanuts in comparison to 100 miles, which is the total length of this race. I'm actually a little bit nervous for today because at the start of this year, I unfortunately sustained a pretty bad ankle injury that actually took me out running for an entire month. I didn't really run at all throughout March, literally probably not at all. And then throughout April, I gradually started picking up my training again and I sort of ramped it up in the last couple of weeks. And that leads us to today, so more or less got 1 month of training under my belt for this 100-mile race. So I've got no idea what's going to happen, but this channel is not called Craig Tries for no reason. I'm going to try running this ultramarathon and see what happens. Let's carry on. Right, 10.75 miles in and we're at checkpoint 1. It's been pretty good so far. I've got a feel for the terrain and the route. Weather's fairly okay so far, but it's going to get quite hot at some point during the day. So yeah, let's get some food and a drink, get back on the road. And within 3 minutes, we're in and out of that aid station. I've got a drink, I've got some peanut butter sandwiches. Had those, and now I'm back on the trail along the River Thames. I think for me, in long distance running, I like to find a rhythm early on, and I found it pretty good. I'm at about 10-minute mile pace right now, and it's doing me well. The last thing I want is to stop for too long and break that steady rhythm. So I'm going to stay in that for as long as I can during these crucial early stages of the race. We're about 13 miles into the race now, and every so often we will actually come off the path along the river, come across a bridge like this, and then go back onto the river path. Not sure how many times that happens, time will tell, but it's all completely flat with a couple of inclines here and there, so I'm not complaining. Right, onwards. As you probably gathered by some of the shots I've got, it's a lovely scenic route running along the Thames, all the countryside is surrounding us. It's brilliant. So it's good to have this in the background as we go through these 100 miles. Just hit the 20-mile mark. That means we're a fifth into the total distance of this race. My time is about 3 hours and 20 minutes now, and I'm feeling okay. However, I am feeling pretty dehydrated right now. Even though there's quite a few clouds in the sky, the sun is piercing through. Every now and then the temperature, I guess, is around 15 to 17 degrees at the moment. So fairly hot, and it's quite humid as well. So I'm going to make sure to drink quite a bit at this aid station and get some more fluid in my water bottles. Right. Hopefully not too long till we find it. 'Hallelujah. We are at checkpoint number 2, 22 miles in. Gonna get a drink, definitely much needed. Put some sunscreen on, it's very hot and sunny right now. Then go back on the road. Let's do it. And just like that, we're out of aid station number 2 and back on the road. I've probably poorly applied this layer of sunscreen on, but as you can see, it is absolutely baking right now. The sun has come out with a vengeance today, and the last thing I want to do is to get a nasty burn. During one of my training runs for this event, I was out in the countryside, exposed for about an hour or so in the baking hot sun with no shade whatsoever, and I forgot my sunscreen like a moron. So the last thing I want to do is do the same thing today. So I bought Factor 50, very safe, and I'm going to be applying it regularly just to make sure that I get a bit more protection than last week. So with that lecture on sun safety out of the way, let's carry on the Thames Path 100. .27 miles in now, I've got to say, the past 5 miles haven't been the funnest. The sun has been extremely hot, but I'm hoping now that it's 2:15 in the afternoon that it's going to gradually cool down and give us some relief from the sun's beaming rays. And it looks like there's some more clouds coming in as well, so hopefully that will improve my performance and allow me to increase the pace a bit. And then we have aid station number 3 at approximately 30.5 miles in. Right, I definitely need to get some water on board. 37 miles in now, and since we've left aid station 3 at 30 miles, it's been a bit better. Temperatures dropped gradually, and the sun hasn't been as menacing, shall we say, as it was for miles 20 to 30. So yeah, I feel like I'm getting back into it after that little slump. Still quite hot though, so I can't run continuously through this heat. I'm just going to walk a minute or so every 10 minutes, which is what I have been doing for this leg, just to make sure I don't go overload for this particular part of the race. Okay, aid station 4 is on the horizon. Let's go. And there we have it, aid station number 4. For some reason I thought it was at 40 miles, but my watch says 38.6 right now, so nice little surprise for us there. Right, same drill as before, let's go. That was random. I literally thought these were statues of some kind, just come up to, and they're actually some cows. Chilling out, minding their business. Just when I thought that the sun had gone for the day, it's come out with a vengeance. For the past hour or so, it's been blaring down on all of us runners, so it's made it a lot tougher. But it's only 6 o'clock now. We've got about 2.5 hours or so till sunset, and then after that it's going to be the dark section of the race where it's night time, and it's going to obviously be a lot cooler. So fingers crossed that section is a little bit more forgiving than the sun right now. But yeah, we're about 46 miles in, and we're very close to the halfway point, so let's keep going. If my eyes don't deceive me, that looks like aid station number 5 ahead of us, which is a surprise because I thought the next aid station was Henley, which is the 51 mile point. We're actually at 44.7 miles, so that's probably why. Right, drink time. Just a pretty bad slip, almost didn't catch it, but I did luckily at the last minute. Saw my Richmond to Oxford career flash before my eyes before we'd even got halfway, but luckily saved. We're at Henley, officially the halfway point. Right, let's get my drop bag and stock up on supplies. Right, we're about 2 miles outside of Henley aid station now. I'm hoping that after the sun goes down fully and it turns to night, I'm going to be able to have a more enjoyable experience. Not going to lie, the sun and lack of training due to injury killed me in the first half of this ultramarathon. But hopefully things are going to change now. Touch wood. Do you know what I think I spoke too soon? This hill that's going through this woodland here, it's absolutely brutal. Not so good for sore legs. Right, the head torches have come out. We're now into the night section of this race. Let's do this. Right, it's been 12 hours since we left Brighton this morning and it's 9:30 and we've covered about 58 miles. Just need to make sure I can see where I'm going. And yeah, this night section is certainly something special. It's very different to anything I've ever done before in my life. And it can get very lonely out here. So it's nice to have all the runners keep each other company. Alright, let's carry on. Alright, I've just come out of the last aid station and we're currently at mile 60. I'm not going to lie, this race is starting to take it out of me now, but we're going to carry on, see how far we can get and see if we can finish this mammoth marathon. So guys, we're about 71 miles in now and things just aren't feeling good at all. I literally can't run. I've been walking for the past, where am I going? I've been walking for the past probably 6 miles now and I'm just not feeling with it. My legs are destroyed. Feeling really tired, just not with it at all. And I think it's mainly due to the fact that I've literally been training for this for about a month due to the injury I unfortunately sustained at the start of the year. So it's looking like I'm going to have to do a DNF at the next station because this is just so painful. Not only do I not have the cardiovascular fitness for this, my legs just aren't accustomed to the demands of these really tough trails. Look at that. That's literally what the course has been like, I'd say 70% of the time. So yeah, probably going to have to pull out of this one, unfortunately. And that was the last video I took of the entire day. So what happened next? Well, I hobbled along through miles 72 and mile 73 to Goring aid station, which is a drop-off station. Went to my drop bag, got a few bits and pieces out, and I sat on a chair literally contemplating my life for about 20 minutes straight. And then I said to myself, do you know what, there's no way I'm going to be able to make it to the end of this race. Even if I walked it, I probably could have made the cut-off time because I got to 73 miles in 15.5 hours, but the pain in my foot and in my legs was just so unbearable
I couldn't physically carry on. And I had some really nice chats with some runners in the aid station who tried to encourage me to carry on, but I knew I was at the end of my limits. So that was the end of my first attempt at 100 miles, and unfortunately it didn't end as I anticipated, but it was a very humbling and educational experience, you could say. There's nothing more humbling than trying to run 100 miles in a single day, and I learned a lot during the experience. The main thing that messed me up during this race was easily the lack of training. 4 weeks of training prior to race day just wasn't enough, and I really felt it during the first 30 miles. And after that, from that point on, it was really tough. And at 60 miles, I just started walking because I really couldn't carry on running. My legs were done, my feet were done. I just felt completely horrible. I kept yawning, I was so tired. I just didn't have the physical fitness to run that far. The sun and the relentless heat was also a massive issue during the day, and also I took far too much stuff in my backpack, which weighed me down throughout the first half of the race, which then led to my eventual misery during the second part of the race. But it was really fun to give it a go, and I loved meeting and chatting with some of the other runners, which was a really good boost during the race because there are some lonely and tough moments out there. A massive well done to my brother Jack, who smashed the course in a brilliant time of 21 hours and 40 minutes. He managed to secure the highly sought after special one-day belt buckle from Centurion, which proves that you've ran 100 miles in 24 hours or less. So massive well done to him. So after this unfortunate fail, what is next for me in my ultra running journey? Well, I'm happy and maybe a bit reluctant to say that I have booked onto my next 100 miler. I'm going to be giving the North Downs Way a go in August in 2022, which is another Centurion event. I really want to try and beat 100 miles. It's a massive goal of mine that I unfortunately couldn't achieve the other day, so I'm going to give it another go, and hopefully this time I'll rock up to the start line with a lot more proper training, not hindered by injury, and that's hopefully going to be enough to get me across the 100-mile finish line. Well done to all the other runners on the day. It was really hot and really tough, so anyone that managed to finish this race, massive well done to you. I've been Craig. Try new things, try being more. I'll see you in the next video.